We brought up the predictions on the World Cup Predictor app website, and we are now going to go through every game. Let's start from top left and go down and decide who we think's going through. So, first up is on the left side of the draw, which contains the likes of Germany, France, Portugal, Spain, USA, and Belgium. But do we think they're all the favourites are going to go through? So, Ash, let's start with Germany and Paraguay. I think this is an easy one for me. Paraguay, they've done well to get through, but I think Germany will have too much for them, and I see a pretty solid 2-0 win, something like that for Germany.
Yeah, agree. I think maybe Paraguay will get a goal against them, so I'm going to go 2-1 to Germany, but absolutely Germany will win that game and advance to the round of 16.
There we go. That's an easy one. The next one, which is should be a cracking game. Two teams with some firepower in it. Sweden, of course, they had a pretty tough group with the Netherlands and Japan. They won 5-1, didn't they, in their first game? So they definitely got some firepower with the likes of Alexander Isak and Victor Gyökeres of Arsenal. But it's France we're talking about, and that would be probably the biggest shock in the World Cup for a long time, wouldn't it? They're the favourites. So is there any point talking any more about this one?
No, absolutely not. Put France through, and who doesn't want to see France versus Germany in round of 16? That's going to be one of the best games in the round of 16 for sure.
Tasty.
South Africa, Canada. Now, South Africa did well to come back from their disaster start to end up actually qualifying.
Actually, just a side note, in our ranking video, we eliminated South Africa after 2 games, and they made it through second. So shame on us. But having said that, I think it's going to be a tight game. But I would expect Canada, as the host nation, to have a little bit more than South Africa and win in a tight game.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Canada on this one. I don't think South Africa had that thing to them that can take them further than the round of 32. The next game upcoming, though, is going to be a cracker. Netherlands and Morocco. Who is going to win this game? That is going to be close. Me personally, I think the Netherlands are going to win it just because, that German guy who predicted they're going to win the World Cup. So they have to technically win it for that to become true. But just in general, I think Netherlands have a really strong chance. They looked great in their first 3 games. Morocco also looked really good, very fast paced on the ball. But just Netherlands have a little bit more to them, a little bit more star quality all around the team, where Morocco kind of have just a few star players. But I think Netherlands got an all-round team. I think it'll be a 1-0. I don't think it'll be a big scoring game. You think 2-1?
I think 2-1, but I agree with you, Ash. It's going to be tight for sure. Both two great teams and a tough draw for both. And Morocco, of course, did well last time getting to the semi-finals. So I agree with you. I think both teams have looked good going forward. Brazil struggled to break Morocco down. But I would say that with Van Dijk in the Netherlands defence, they're just a little bit more solid at the back and a bit more experience in big matches. And so in a tight game in the knockouts, I'm going to give them the edge. But yeah, would put Netherlands going through to play Canada. Right. Portugal and Croatia. Interesting one. 2 second-place teams again. That's a tough draw there for these two teams who finished second, but that's what you get when you don't win the group. And look, England avoided that by beating Panama, right? If they'd come second, this would have been the same tie because Portugal ended up drawing to Colombia. Colombia won that group. So Cristiano Ronaldo, Luka Modric, what do we think, mate?
Well, a bit controversial because I'm wearing the shirt, but the Portugal-Colombia game that just happened, right? Really good game, as I mentioned earlier in the episode, end to end. But it was mainly Colombia. It was Colombia making the opportunities, Colombia going forward, like shots on target like galore. Portugal looked not that great, to be fair. If Croatia could come out here and give them a real run, I think they might have a shout, mate. Portugal's team on paper is outrageous. It's just star after star after star, like some of the best players on the planet for that team. But they weren't clicking in that Colombia game.
Or in the first game against Congo. All they've done is beat Uzbekistan, who are being eliminated. So they've drawn against Colombia, a good team, yeah, and Congo, you'd expect them to beat. And maybe that's a sign for us as well, by the way, that game against Congo, that England shouldn't take them lightly. We'll get to that. But it sounds like you're earing towards Croatia. I think Portugal will manage to make their way through it. Portugal are the better team on paper, right? And we don't know which Portugal are going to show up. Ronaldo is going to need to do better and play like he did in the second game, not the first and the third. So I think for this one, just based on an aging Croatia, I think they've done well to get out the group, and I think Portugal will just have enough, and I'd be putting
Mm.
them through.
Yeah, it's a fair point. And I am wearing the shirt, so yeah, go on.
Yeah.
Let's give it
And
to Portugal.
we want it to happen as well.
Yeah,
We want it to set up a potential Iberia playoff.
yeah, absolutely. Who doesn't like an international derby?
Exactly.
Talking of that, Spain. There's no contest there. Sorry, Austria, but
No, on Austria came second in their group. This is actually one of the occasions where a first place team has to play a second place team. So it's not the easiest draw for Spain. Austria coming second in the end. That was a great match against Algeria, 3-3 that they drew. And they scored in the 96th minute, Austria, to equalise, which meant that they came second instead of third. But actually, they've got a tougher game if you look at it. Algeria have got Switzerland. Austria, a pretty good team, and I think they've done well to get this far. But yeah, no point talking about it anymore. So we've gone for all favourites at the moment. It's looking good, isn't it? But now to one of your teams, and who's hosting the World Cup, USA, and they play Bosnia and Herzegovina. Do you think this is a easy match and then they'll roll them over?
to be honest, I haven't really seen Bosnia play. I'm not gonna lie. Maybe they have been doing pretty well, but I don't know. I think USA have they're on home soil. They're going to be fine.
Yeah, agreed. So yeah, we got the USA going through as the hosts. Now, who will the US play in the last 16? Will it be Belgium or Senegal? I think this is actually a pretty sneaky good tie. Senegal are pretty dangerous. They obviously done well in the African Cup of Nations, and they had a tough group, Ash. They had to play Norway and they had to play France, right? And they scored, against both those teams, conceded 3, but beat the other team in that group. I think Belgium haven't looked that great apart from that last game. And so should we judge Senegal by having played Norway and France? I think this is going to be close. Belgium don't give me confidence. Obviously they're favourites, but I think Senegal could do it. Yeah, I think they could do it. Yeah.
I think after the 5-1 win, I think they might get a little bit of a battery in the back, Belgium, and a bit more confidence to go into that Senegal game. They're also going to know the kind of team they're up against in terms of the way Senegal have played. Is Senegal good enough to go through to the last 16?
I think so.
They're definitely one of the best African nations.
They're 18th in the world.
But I mean, that's nothing to shrug about. So,
Belgium is
um,
10, to be fair. No,
I
Belgium are
don't
still
know.
the favourites. I'm happy to go with Belgium.
Yeah, I think it would be a bit of a wild pick to go Senegal here. I think, yeah, okay, they have played great and they are very pressing as a team, but I think Belgium just have that kind of experience in world class.
Okay, that's fine. Right, so we'll come back to that side of the draw for the round of 16. Some tasty matches there. And we'll head over to the other side of the draw, of which the first match is Brazil and Japan, which is a very tasty game. I'm looking forward to
Yes,
watching this one. Japan have looked very good, haven't they?
they have indeed. I think they are a solid team. They look great. They look confident. They are just like the normal Japan that shows up. They look like they can take on Brazil, mate. Brazil, they look a good team, but I haven't seen the best performance from them yet. Maybe they're going to bring it out against Japan, but from what I've seen so far, I've got Japan winning this one, mate.
Yeah, I was actually thinking the same. So our first upset, we put Japan through. And the reason I think that is Brazil haven't showed me that much. It's less about Brazil not being that good, more about, I think, just Japan are underrated. And they're a really good team when I've watched them play. They score goals for fun. They're quite solid at the back. They drew that game with the Netherlands, and they're workmanlike, aren't they? They're busy. They're running all over the pitch. And I think they'll give Brazil a tough time, and it's going to be close. I can see extra time, penalties. And yeah, let's go with Japan.
Yep, let's do it. Biggest upset of the World Cup so far, I reckon.
Would be, and I'd love to see it. Okay, Norway to beat Ivory Coast with Haaland back.
Yeah, easily, yeah. And also, what a game that would be, Japan-Norway.
Yeah, that would be great.
Mm.
Really good. Okay, Mexico then. Mexico won their group, 3 wins out of 3. Very good so far. Obviously at home in this game, and if they win the next game, and potentially against England. So with that home advantage, 3 wins out of 3. Ecuador, no mugs, but Mexico are the favourites, and I can't think of a good reason to bet against them at this point.
Yeah, I completely agree. Let's go Mexico, put them through, host nation, playing well. We're going to be nervous to play them. So, yeah, it'd be a good game against England. And talking of that, yeah, England, come on.
Come on. We fully expect it. No disrespect to Congo, but we'll have too much quality for them, you'd think. Ranked 42nd in the world. And England to come through that one and then set up a fantastic tie against Mexico in Mexico City in the Aztec Arena.
An absolute spectacle. And we're going to struggle with that altitude.
We
But
are
we could talk about that once we've got DR Congo out the
Right.
way.
Argentina to beat Cape Verde. No question. Cape Verde done well to come second, but Argentina look great. They'll win that comfortably. Australia and Egypt. I've got Egypt going through here with Mo Salah. I think they did
Yeah.
quite well in the group stages. Drew with Portugal, didn't they? And I think Australia have done well to get out the group. But Egypt, I expect to have too much for Australia.
Yeah, 100%. They'll send the ruse packing.
Yeah. All right, interesting one. What do you think about the next one? Switzerland and Algeria.
My mind instantly goes Switzerland, but I think Algeria have got this.
Really? Why?
Just how they played in their last game. They looked pretty solid. I think they scored like 3 goals, right?
Yeah.
So Switzerland, again, I haven't really seen them play a lot. I haven't watched many of their games, so I can't really judge it on the fact that I've seen them play. They are a solid team always, but I don't know. I think just based on that last performance from Algeria, might be an upset.
Yeah, and I think, look, Switzerland did well. They got 7 points, but they had a fairly comfortable group. They managed to beat Canada 2-1 in that third game, which decided the group stage. But apart from that, they weren't really tested. And I do think Algeria have a good team. Switzerland traditionally do well, and they've got good players, but I've not seen anything spectacular from them. I'm happy to go with Algeria here, I think, based on the fact that it'll be closer than people think, and they might just edge it.
Nice. Now this would be a good game.
Could be, yeah, but Colombia looked pretty solid, didn't they, against Portugal?
Yeah. Ghana also played really well. But the way that Colombia played against Portugal, Colombia, mate, like they looked so good. Honestly, their finishing ability needs some work. They need some kind of pep talk on actually getting that ball in the net. But the chances that they create against Portugal, yeah, unbelievable. Straight through over Ghana.
Okay, there we have it. So we got most of the favourites going through, but we've predicted Japan to beat Brazil and Algeria to knock off Switzerland. So a couple of upsets there. I think that's fair. And now we've got some really tasty ties. It's going to get a bit more difficult. So let's go through it then. We'll go back to the top left, guys. Germany and France, 2 European absolute heavyweights. Both countries have won this World Cup multiple times, and it's going to be a cracking match. France will be favourites, obviously. Germany, though, have looked pretty good and better than previous World Cups where they've actually struggled a bit. I think France are going to win the game. I do think that But it wouldn't surprise me if Germany win as well.
Yeah, or at least hold them, maybe an extra time. This one could actually go to penalties.
Could do. And we know what the Germans are like on penalties.
Mm, yeah. So no, I think France are the favourites here in this game. Let's advance France there. Um, it
Advance
will
France.
be it will be a really good test for them coming up against a team like Germany. We've already seen how good they are, but against an actual team, I'm interested. Next, I mean,
Yeah, there's no point talking about this one. I think Canada, if they come through that first knockout game, they've reached the round of 16. That's kind of success for them. Netherlands coming through that Morocco game, confident. I think they'll beat Canada quite comfortably and set up that France-Netherlands quarterfinal.
yeah, 100%. So many in the last 16 here. There's so many final worthy games. Again, this one would be traditionally very much a final worthy game, but I've got Spain winning this one, mate, over Portugal, just from the way that Portugal have been playing. I think Spain will run rings around them.
Based on form, yeah, agreed. Ronaldo probably out of his last World Cup ever, and he'll be at the hands of Spain. Yeah, I agree.
Absolutely.
Okay, this one
Here
is
we
a tricky
go.
one.
You have two very different teams here. You've got one that's kind of like this new, fresh Hungary. It's the host nation. They play very fast. They make opportunities out of nothing. USA, you know, Belgium, solid team, world class, top 10. It's gonna be close. My mind goes to that USA is gonna win. I don't know. I've got no basis of where that comes from, but I just feel like they
Me too.
might tip it.
Me too. I think the US will do it at home. Belgium shown vulnerabilities and weaknesses. And I think in a tight game, just having that home advantage, I think that's good reason to go for the US. And I think they'll be looking at it thinking we want to get to the quarterfinals at least. And that's their goal.
Yeah, US.
Happy with US?
USA. Yeah.
All right. Good for you. Your team there?
Yeah. I mean, all four of those teams are our picks.
Yeah. Well, 3 for you though.
Yeah. Just Spain for you. But you've got someone there on the other side now.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah.
Mm. Japan, Norway. Again, I'm tipping Japan here again. I don't know why, but I'd like to see Norway go through because I'd like to see Haaland get a real run in this tournament. I think he deserves it just from his amazing in the Premier League. So, um, I would like to see Norway win it, but Japan are just playing so good.
Yeah. Agreed. I just think Japan are more of a whole better team and they play as a team and they've been knocking on the door and doing something special in a tournament. And I think after beating Brazil, if they do go through, that they'll have confidence and just edge it. But obviously, 50-50 game, Haaland could do magic and easily Norway could go this far as well. But I'd like to see Japan go through actually, and think they'll just edge it. So Japan,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, right. 3 Lions in Mexico against Mexico in the last 16. What do you think that game will be like?
I think the game will be England defending.
God, then we're really
Yeah,
in trouble, aren't we?
yeah. I do. I think we will be the new Ghana playing 11 players at the back, just moving about like this.
Really though, you think
Um,
they'll be that dominant? Like we're good at keeping the
I
ball.
I think they'll put pressure on us that we haven't faced yet in this competition.
Well, that's for sure. It'll be by far the toughest game.
We will regress into old England and we'll play at the back, we'll play defence, and we'll rely on set pieces.
We will. I agree with that. It'll be tight. Could be penalties.
I think it's tough. Obviously, I'm always going to say England's going to go through here, but
Biased, but
it's it's uh, realistically in the grand scheme of things, 70% chance is going to be Mexico going through,
no, no,
30%
that's far
England.
too high. That's far too high. No, come on. It's still England here. We're still going to step up. And
Yeah,
Mexico are
and
not
just
that amazing.
They're not, but they are playing well, and they are delivering the results, and they're playing some good football, and it's interesting to watch. And so when that comes
Do you
up
know? Yeah.
against England, personally, I just feel like going into that game, they have a better chance of winning it, but we have to pull it out the bag, and we will pull it out the bag. So England definitely are going to win, but
Fair enough. It's going to be close. I think if you're an England player and you got this far, this is what you play football for. I think they'll rise to the occasion of playing in Mexico for the first time this tournament against Mexico. That atmosphere in the Aztec is iconic. It's going to be amazing. They're going to feel that adrenaline and they're going to feel those, the goosebumps of the atmosphere. And I just think the star quality of those players that they'll rise to the occasion and put on a show and the whole world's watching. And I hope that that would be the case rather than shrinking into our show. And I think that could be a magic game. So tough game, but yeah, we're not counting out England just yet. So let's do that, Ash. And I mean, look, at the moment it's looking like we play Japan, which if someone offered you that draw a year ago, you'd snap their hand off, wouldn't you?
right, 100%. It's looking nice.
Argentina to beat Egypt.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Get 'em on.
And then Algeria and Colombia.
I'm sticking with my little Colombians. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I'm happy with that as well. I think
Yeah,
they're the slightly stronger team there and
yeah.
set up an all South American quarterfinal.
Mate, you've got only one team left in the bracket.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
I've got tougher draws than you here.
Yeah,
I
you do.
feel like
Yeah, it hasn't fell right for you
you've
at
got
all.
Colombia. Colombia have got
100%. So France and Netherlands. France again, just because it's a different class now between France and Netherlands.
but your German guy who predicted the World Cup predicted this here to this stage
Hmm.
and predicted that Netherlands would beat France at this stage and go on to win it. And you've picked the Netherlands in your teams based on that. So you going against that now?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go against my prediction here and just go France, I think. But I mean, I could be wrong, and happy days if I am, because then Netherlands stay in as well. Hey, if anyone has a problem with my pick, there's a German guy online. Go find him.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Happy with France, of course. So we got France going through, Ash, to the semi-finals, and
Yeah,
Spain and America, US have had a good run to the quarterfinals, but I think this will be one step too far for them.
yeah. And if they do get that far, they're going to be so happy, and they're not going to be really disappointed that they're knocked out at this stage. They're kind of going to go, "Oh, well, we got to the quarterfinals, man. We played
Quarterfinals.
Spain. It was such an honor." So yeah, I think they'll be happy to go out at that stage of the competition. It won't affect the tournament too much. They won't like throw the dummy out the pram or anything like that. So yeah,
Now, imagine this: England have beaten Mexico, Mexico City, and 4 days later they have a quarterfinal against Japan. I don't feel like this is the time to say bet against England. Do you?
nah, I think we have more chance of beating Japan than we do Mexico. So
Mexico,
yeah, let's
yeah,
go.
agreed. So England into the semis, and then
Yeah.
Argentina to beat Colombia.
Yeah, 100%. Colombia again. I think they'll give them a run for their money, but Argentina will show them up there. Yeah,
Look at this. Look at those semi-finals, mate.
amazing, isn't
Oh,
it?
that's what we want. Yeah.
France,
Okay.
Spain.
France,
Wow.
Spain.
What do we do here? It's tough. It's literally a coin toss.
Yeah, I mean, based on the games we've seen, though, just that draw against Cape Verde for Spain, this is a 50-50 here. I mean, my head says France, but it's also a
Same,
kind of boring pick just to keep putting them through. But
but it's realistic. If it was the other way around and Argentina was that side and it was France Argentina, it could be a bit more of a longer debate. But I think France have got it. I think they'll tip Spain.
yeah, okay. England, Argentina, a repeat of the 86 Hand of God game. A lot of history between these two countries, obviously, in the World Cup. But what do we think would be the result in 2026? Messi and co, reigning champions. Could we see them getting to the final 2 times in a row and setting up a repeat final from last year against France? Or do we think England will come up with some magic in this game and make the first final in 60 years? It's tough.
There's two answers.
Better not.
There's the England answer, which is yeah, man, we're gonna smash them. Yeah, well, 3-0. Yeah, yeah, to the final, and then we're gonna beat France and win the World Cup. Um, the the actual answer is we are gonna get annihilated by Argentina.
Do you? I think you get to a semi, it's going to be close. Most people say Argentina have the better team. I just don't like putting in Argentina and France to repeat final.
Mm.
And I feel like if we make it this far, look, I'm just biased at this point. Can we just put England into the final?
I mean, why curse it? Why, when we have the chance of putting England in that final, we can visualize it, we can put it into the universe, we can make it
Yeah.
happen. England
Yes.
will smash Argentina. Actually, no. Do you know what's going to happen? It's going to be 2-0 England first half. Argentina's going to come back 2-2. It's going to go into extra time. We're going to score an extra 2 goals. They're going to get 1 goal back, and we're going to go through, and it's going to be 4-3 England extra time.
You heard it here first. There it is. I hope that happens. So we see England making it through and coming up against the tournament favourites, France, which this would be, by the way, Ash, France, if it happens, France's third World Cup final in a row, which is probably the first time that's ever happened, I would say. I think making the final is the goal, and then I just feel like on that day, like France will be so disappointed to lose it last time. And I can't see us winning that final against France, even though my heart's there.
But at the same time, look at France's run compared to
Yeah,
ours. You know, they're
true.
going to have to go all out against Germany, all out against Netherlands, all out against Spain. England, Congo, it's all right. Mexico, okay, we could beat them. It's fine. Japan, not that much of a challenge. Argentina, we're going to have to really go for it. And then if we do win that, we're going to have such a stick on us that we might have that little extra boost against France that France might lack in that final game. Who knows? In one of those games on the lead up, Mbappe injury.
I think it's a very good argument. And if we're trying to find reasons to say why England can win, yeah, I think that's like the games are what, every 4 days? So there's not much time for rest and recovery. What I would say is France do have a deeper squad, so they can probably handle it better for tournament football than anyone else. But yeah, I think mentally to come through those games and then have to do it again in the final, maybe that's one step too far. Whereas England have just beaten Argentina in the semi-finals and, maybe had a comfortable game against Congo and could rest the players. So we're going with England.
No, but I used to say we can't hold France off and it'll be a penalty.
Just couldn't do it. Imagine it went to penalties again in the World Cup final, and oh my god, I don't know what I'd do, mate.
Yeah.
Oh, it
Do
would
you remember? Do you remember the uproar at the Euros when it went to penalties?
against Italy.
Yeah. Actually, we lost on penalties the last World Cup, no?
No, we lost to France,
Do
didn't we?
we? There was a penalty involved though, wasn't there? I remember being in
Yeah,
Thailand.
Kane.
I was on Khao Sam Road in Bangkok, and they had like massive screens everywhere, and we missed a penalty, and the whole street went up, like all the bars got destroyed and stuff.
Yeah, it was Kane, wasn't it? Kane missed. It was 2 penalties in that game. He scored the first one, and we were 2-1 down, and he missed the second one late on. It was in normal time, but yeah, you're right. I think that's what it was France in the
Yeah,
quarters, wasn't it?
yeah, that's exactly what it was. So we're gonna have some kind of vengeance for that.
Come on, mate. Let's do it. Let's just enjoy it and visualize it into existence. And look, it would be the most amazing thing ever. And I think, look, we make it to the final. We've also made it to 2 major finals recently in the Euros. And maybe there's a few players in that team like Kane that have been there. And it's just that one step up. Obviously, it would be the progression. It's the goal. It would be the toughest thing possible to play last year's 2 finalists in a row, Argentina and France, Messi and Mbappe, to come through that would be against all odds, and would be incredible and would be the most amazing feat in English football history.
Our viewers are gonna love this. They're gonna be like, "Oh, typical British men."
They're gonna any credibility we had left on this podcast is gonna go out the window here with our
Well,
bias.
it is what it is. We are English, and this is a football podcast, so of course we're gonna back the boys. Come on. Well, that is our draft, everybody. What do you think? Do you agree with our choices all the way up to England winning this World Cup? Or do you think we made some grave errors in there? What about Japan beating Brazil? Do you agree with that? Or do you think the Brazilian boys will send the Japans back to Japan?
The Japanese, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, let us know what you think. Send us a screenshot of your draft. You can check the URL we had there. Do the same thing and send us a screenshot in the comments where you had your teams, and we'll see. We're interested to see how similar it is to ours, or if you've gone different, and if you think we're chatting absolute bollocks, as the podcast implies, then you might be right.